I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the East End Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Saturday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please turn to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Disacam for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 29th lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday we covered Genesis chapter 6, verses 9 to 13, talking about the beginning of the records of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their account of their father Noah. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis 6:14 and read through verse 18. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis chapter 6, beginning at verse 14. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you're to make it. The length of the ark 300 cubits, its breadth 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark and finish it to a cubit above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. For behold, I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life under heaven. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. In verse 13, we have recorded that God would destroy the earth, and verse 17 identifies that he would do so with a flood. But even though he would destroy the earth, God would save Noah and his family. How he would do this is revealed to us in verse 14. Noah was to make an ark. The word ark literally means box. We would think of it as a ship or a boat, but what shape it was, we simply don't know. It was to be made of gopher wood. What is gopher wood? Most scholars believe it was a wood like white oak, but again, we don't know. It was a wood obviously familiar to Noah, though. He was then told to make rooms in the ark. This would certainly answer the question of how come the lions didn't eat the zebras, because they weren't all in the same room. He was to cover the ark with pitch or pine tar so that it would be waterproof. The ark was to have specific length, width, and height. The length was 300 cubits, about 438 feet, or 133.5 meters. The width was to be 50 cubits, about 73 feet, or 22.25 meters, and the height 30 cubits, about 48 feet, or 14.5 meters. This was a large container, although its dimensions are the ideal ratio for stability. In fact, supertankers today use approximately the same size ratio as the ark did in Genesis 6. Noah was then to make a roof for the ark that would be 1 cubit high, about 18 inches or 1.8 meters. In other versions, you read of a window here, and the Hebrew word that is translated by the English Standard Version as roof means light. So what is being talked about when the ESV says roof is a skylight in the roof that was 1 cubit high and most likely ran the length of the ark. This window could be opened because Noah opened it in Genesis 8:6. There was to be one door, and it was to be placed on the side of the ark. Inside, along with the rooms, there would be 3 decks to house everyone. All told, the volume capacity of the ark would be about 1.4 million cubic feet, or about 39,650 cubic meters. This is about the same size as 522 livestock rail cars, each of which can hold about 240 sheep, so there was enough room for the animals. Seeing how only 8 people would be saved, it took Noah and his sons about 100 years to complete the ark. I'd like to note one thing before closing: how specific God's instructions were here. Yes, he left some things up to Noah, like how big the planks of wood were to be or what tools to use, but much of the design was very specific. Sometimes people don't think that God cares about the details, so long as what we do is considered good. God cares about everything he has revealed to us. If Noah was to be saved, he was to follow God's directions. 2 doors isn't obedience any more than 4 decks is. God gave Noah instructions. Noah followed them because he had faith in God, and so God saved Noah. In fact, God made a covenant, a solemn compact with Noah, that God would save Noah's family because of their faith. Had Noah or his family disobeyed, they would have been lost with everyone else in the flood. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow for the question and answer edition, as well as the weekly sermon edition of this podcast. The question is, are we justified by works? While the sermon will be titled, First Look in the Mirror, Then the Microscope. We will continue our study of Genesis, the Lord willing, on Monday, beginning at Genesis 6:19.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord's willing, tomorrow when we'll be presenting 2 episodes. One is a question and answer session, while the other is a sermon from God's Word. Goodbye for now. Have a great day.
I'm not ashamed